On the last video, I was showing you how to print on bed, but then we were having some printing issues. We were getting a lot of Z-banding, such as this, right? Okay, again, such as this. As I hope you can see that you shouldn't get those strong lines. It should be a clean swipe. Well, guess what, guys? We succeeded. And I'm going to show you in this video what you need to tighten, because essentially that's what it is you gotta do. And you know what's the honest truth? 0 mods. This is the best I could get it to. This gray ABS right here. Look at this. Look at this. Clean swipe. Clean swipe. And honestly, yeah, it's my logo. Honestly, with 0 mods, I don't think I could have asked for anything better. Okay, 0 mods, and that's how it should be. We always go for the mods first, but honestly, you should always try and get your printer printing like this before you put any mods on. Mods are supposed to increase the ability of your printer. It will not make your printer print perfectly if you don't know what's wrong with it in the first place. So on this video, we're gonna show you bigger is better. And no, it's not a CR10, it's the Artillery Sidewinder X1. So now, before I do get to it more, let me show you another bigger print in case you're still in disbelief. You're like, but Musa, that's just a triangle you print. Well, this is one of the orders for a Voron print I'm doing. Look at this. Black ABS. If this is how it looks in ABS, imagine what the PLA looks like. Okay, black ABS. Trust me, it doesn't get better than this. It's still printing. It's a lot of orders I have to finish up, so I figured we're all printing geeks here, might as well show you while it's printing. Okay guys, first of all is the belt tensioning on this guy right here. You unscrew both these screws, and this entire thing is going to come loose. Okay, after it comes loose, with your thumb, I'm sorry for my tiny little fingers, with your thumb you're gonna pull this, and with this you're gonna hold them in place. You're gonna pull this until this tightens. Just don't tear it off and be a Superman, and I know you're not Superman because you're weak, and you're going to just slightly tighten this till this is straight and taut, and finger taut, not super taut, finger taut, and then just tighten these up. Hold it with the other hand, since I'm holding the camera, and tighten these two up while you're holding like this. Okay, and basically that's one. Number 2 is over here. So this belt tightening has to be done on the bottom. There are 2 screws at the bottom. After you unscrew them, you're gonna pull this to the right. Once again, finger tight. Do not push it to the point where it tears, or else when it's printing, the belt will deteriorate. Finger tight, push it to the right, and then at the bottom, tighten those screws back up. Okay, now then, there are 2 of these. Wait, there are 2 of these blue ones right here. You are going to loosen these 2 screws and then push it to the left. Do not break it, just slightly push it to the left, and then tighten these screws. Same thing on this side. Gonna unscrew these 2, then push it to the right and tighten these up. Not too harsh, because you're gonna feel a natural limitation to both this pull, and that way you're gonna tension the belt, the belt of the lead screws. There's a belt over here. It doesn't need to be super tight, just the natural tight, because they don't give you any adjustability there. And honestly, that's enough to get it printing right there. But wait on just 1 second. There is one more thing people forget to notice, which I didn't, is that as soon as I got the printer, it was printing perfectly, but there were some issues. For example, the things I tightened just now, they were not always loose. From the factory, they came pretty well. I just, like last video you saw, it wasn't giving me perfect print, so I just rechecked all of them and fixed it. But you see these V rollers over here, you need to check them. You need to check all these bolts to see if they're too tight, because I found two of them and one from that side that was very tight, and they should be looser to the point. I'm not trying to mess it now because it's printing, but basically you need to check if they're too tight. They cannot be too tight. They need to be finger loose, like to the point where if you hold this and you roll this should roll. You know what I'm saying? They should roll up through the finger, and when you move it up and down by moving this, you should feel no resistance. It should just smoothly go up and down. So be sure to check every bolt to make sure they're only finger tight, not tightened. You know, the best way to do that is tighten it all the way, then go half back. Okay, tighten it all the way, then half back, half a circle back. That way you know you got the perfect amount of tight in there. Alright, as to the is because I have scoured the entire internet and I have seen people doing horrendous things. By horrendous, there might be a logical option to do, but I've seen people print multiple Z-rod extrusion additions just to make sure this is level. Now, let me go into some details of the Artillery Sidewinder X1. These stepper motor drivers are very high quality compared to the closest Chinese printer you can buy, like the CR10, which I know everyone's like CR10 bigger is better. CR10, no, it's the Artillery Sidewinder X1. It's cheaper, not that much, but it's better. It's definitely better. Now there are some design flaws you'll see all over the internet. For example, these cables are not meant for high voltage travel, and they were not supposed to survive long term. I might be one of the few examples, like Maker Muse, Angus from Maker Muse. He had the same thing where I've had this since last March 27th, and so far I haven't had a damage. They do send extras with the printer, but I haven't needed to upgrade it. But I know I'm the exceptions, and there are a few other decisions, but let's focus on the good. First off, hold the end stops. Everyone besides Prusa's uses cheaper 3D printing market uses click end stop. They actually have high end touch end stops over here, okay? And then the extrusions are thick. Alright, you see that? That's thick. And as I always say, thicker is better, okay? But then you might come, yep, I'm moving it while it's printing, and guess what? It's not going to affect the print quality one bit. Nope, not one bit. Trust me. This is the mod I'm talking about. You don't see it? Well, I enlarged it for you. Squares. You do not need to make high-end Z supports to support this. There is a natural gap in the design between the stepper motor and the base of the printer. So I just printed a square. Now this is enlarged so you guys could see it. As you can see, it's slightly in. These were my test squares, but honestly, put this between this, and this will essentially be the extra support for your gantry. You do not need to have more zeros. Trust me, I understand aluminum can start bending when it gets too long, but I think this is just at the limitation. This is just at the limitation, and the print quality shows it all. I wouldn't say you can get any better than this out of a Chinese 3D printer with no mods, and I don't consider this as a mod, and I will modify it later, not to make it cooler. Well, I wouldn't mind, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it all metal hardened in there. The fake Titan extruder it comes with is actually doing pretty good. Like even the handle that people has complained about breaking hasn't broken on me yet, so so for good. But if I need to, I'll get a real Titan extruder. Now that it's working hard, it's making money. I need to treat it right, and I might do an easy ABL from TH3D, but it looks like they need a lot of additions for that. I'm going to look into it, but as you know, TH3D they're my boy. I love the printer mods. I love what they do. Simple yet to the point. It works. Their stuff just works. So that is my review for the Sidewinder X1. It is a great printer. It's big, 300 by 300 by 400. Ultra base style glass bed is everything you need, as explained in the last video. You can upgrade it, but it's like, you know, why put money on something that works just as is? Instead, save that money, buy another 3D printer. I own 10. I got a few more coming in. The next is going to be the Sunlu S8. But I hope you guys liked the Sidewinder X1, as this is one of my most reliable and favorite printers. I do hate these ribbon style cables they have attached, and there's tons of complaints about them. But maybe I'm a lucky one. Maybe I will face the issue later. But for now, thick extrusions, clean design, good ionized colors, great prints, highly recommended. You can get it from $3.99 from Banggood or AliExpress. Some places are $4.50, but I'm not sponsored by them. I never will be, probably. But sometimes on Banggood you can get it on sale for $3.79. I recommend you wait for it, because your first print is gonna be an Ender 3. Come on, let's face it. Okay, so feel free to like, share, and subscribe, because the next video is going to be Sunlu S8, and you do not want to miss that, because that one I had to put a lot of work into it, and there's a lot of nooks and crannies I want to show you guys. But at the same time, it's actually kind of, you know how you don't expect anything from something that's from nowhere, and it still is nothing, but then because of your genius and reliability engineering, which is just watching a lot more YouTube videos, you make something good of it. So see you in the next episode. Ciao.